at lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on Aspen Square. Welcome to the Monday edition, Live at Lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott. John Kinch is back in the studio. Troy Macker with us today. It's a holiday week, 4th of July coming up on Friday. So a lot of people taking some vacation time right now. Hope you're enjoying your summer. Jimmy? Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
There's stuff going on this morning. First of all, at the Travelers, the playoff that they had to move to this morning because of, darkness, and they caught a rain delay late yesterday, so that moved them back. But Scotty Scheffler came out on the first hole, hits his iron to 4 feet away. Victor Hovland following him in the playoff, puts his about 7 or 8 feet away. Hovland makes his putt, and Scheffler, to force a second playoff hole, missed a 4-foot birdie putt. You don't expect that. Scotty had played so well throughout the weekend. It was an easy test for most of these guys. The winning score was 21 under par. Colin Morikawa shot 61 yesterday.
He played great yesterday,
and didn't make the playoff. I mean, when you're doing that, I mean, there were red numbers all over the place. But Hovland, coming back off that injury and his first win since then. With a nice putt to make it there, and Scotty just missing at the Travelers, and then at Wimbledon this morning.
Let's talk about Travelers for a second. You watched it this morning. You thought that Scotty won with that approach shot when he put it that close, and Hovland.
At the very least, I didn't expect him to lose right there.
No, but he did have a 2-stroke lead at one point. They were neck and neck, and then he gained 2 strokes on one hole on Hovland in the back 9. Great atmosphere. Way more to watch the end of this than the U.S. Open because everybody had to get the last train or get back to their spots. And the World Cup influence in the crowd. Tons of Norway fans there rooting for
Victor Hovland,
Norway's best golfer, in Victor Hovland. So it was, and then when Scotty would make a shot, it was a U.S. tasteful. We see this golf will be a little bit nasty. Well, people in Connecticut, it was atmosphere.
Yeah,
they were pulling for their guy or pulling against the other guy, and those people were pulling for their guy. So I mean, it was a healthy, fun atmosphere, and Scotty had made Charlie about, including the last hole to send it into, because he went past like 8 feet on 18. And so he's got to make this. And you saw the celebration probably when he nailed that putt to force the overtime.
It's damn near dark.
Yeah. And he made where his weakest stick is the flat one. He was saving pars left and right, 8 to 10 feet putts constantly. Funny thing is, almost twice as long of a putt with 7 to 4 feet roughly. It barely caught the lip and came in. Hovland knew it was going to be. He just made it, okay? But the speed was perfect where it went in. Scotty's was a little hot and went right over the lip. So it's funny that the guy who had the longer putt had the much better speed, which allowed it to drop in than Scheffler. When Scheffler hit that hot, now before they even teed off on the sudden death, he was like minus 135. When he hit his shot before Hovland hit his, he was up to like 230.
Yeah. Like I said, you wouldn't have expected him to lose there. Maybe before Hovland hits his shot, you're like, all right, well, Scotty's in with 3. Hovland's got to make birdie here to extend this another hole. I never expected him to miss a 4-footer.
Well, it's kind of a 50-50 putt for Hovland. Okay. That was downhill, so it was a little tricky. once he made it, Charlie, I'd say 80-20 maybe, 70. It didn't totally surprise me. I mean, yes, yeah, I got to make a bet, yes or no. Is he going to make the putt? Yes, I'm going to make the putt. But I don't know.
Well, Hovland
his putter is so day to day.
Hovland had a great quote after the thing. He says, "It's one of those putts that if I make mine, his gets significantly tougher. If I miss, he probably makes his."
Yeah. I watched that live where post round. Yeah.
I thought that was extremely accurate, just to say that.
He's a tinkerer. He loves, some of these golfers, they just can't switch club, tinkering this, tinkering that, swing adjustment, coach adjustment. He's a constant tinkerer, and sometimes been a little bit of an underachieving stretch because, when he came on the scene, he was as talented as anybody. But when he wins this one, how many he's won already, he's had a very nice career. He's always in, the Ryder Cup for the European team, as of late. So it was a Morikawa. It was a good day of golf. And the biggest storyline, Charlie, is the quote unquote drought is now at 13 events for Scheffler, like 5 months.
I think he won in January, I believe.
We're about to turn. We're about to the 7th month.
The first of the first event of the year, the American Express. He won that one, and that was late January. So he's had a bunch of top fives. He was second at the Masters. He was second at the Cadillac. He was third at the Byron Nelson, and then he loses in the playoff yesterday. So he was third at the Phoenix Open. He was fourth at Pebble Beach. It's not like he hasn't been right there, but no, he has not won since January.
And we have to kind of see how we talk about exhale spots in scheduling and emotional wins and things like that. The two guys that emotionally grinded it out last week in the major, Wyndham Clark was right there, and Sam Burns is a T12, and he hit an unbelievable eagle yesterday. Sam Burns is on fire right now, Charlie.
3 straight 66s and a 67. He holed out from, I forgot how many.
It was, it was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it was.
If it didn't drop in, it was going to be a foot from the hole. I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah, those red numbers were really raw. I thought yesterday was harder. Except for Morikawa, than some of the target practice. When the day started, I said, geez, Scheffler's going to be 26 under by the time this is over.
Course played very fair yesterday.
Yeah, a lot. I thought tougher than he'd played on Saturday.
Morikawa is, he was questionable, right, to play in the Masters, but he gutted it through. Yeah. Wasn't that the case?
Yes.
And so they had that lingering. He's getting a little better and a little healthier, and he's one that, hey, he's won over across the pond before. So, he might be a consideration.
Yeah. John Deere this week, and then, of course, the final major over with the British Open.
Match point for Sinner.
We thought we might have a story here 20 minutes ago. Yannick Sinner, the number one seed today, Wimbledon opening, was down 2-1 and was in a battle here in this fifth set. But he did get his break, and now he is serving for the match, and this should be finished.
He's got
in
two match points here on his serve.
Yeah, but a really tough, little rust after having to pull out of the French, or I don't know what you're the tennis guy.
Service winner, so that's it. Match.
I didn't expect the number one seed to go 5 sets in his opening match.
No, and it's not quite as toasty. But it's warmer than usual.
Yeah.
I've been to Wimbledon before, and it's usually ideal conditions. So it's usually Paris. The tennis tournaments in New York is getting a little warm at times. Now, compared to us and what we're used to down here, okay, it's nothing. But still much hotter. And already he's had to go 5 on his first day. And, I mean, he's minus money to win the tournament.
No Alcaraz there tilts the odds extremely.
I mean, he's odds-on favorite before he plays his first match. And this kid from Serbia is okay, but no, this was a surprise. Basically, if you say total sets, 3.5 and the over had to be like plus money. You had to play probably lay money that was going to be straight sets, I would say. So that this is a surprising struggle, but it might be. He didn't get his play in the French. And so, but it wasn't like he's got to worry about his hydration and the cramps and the things like that. And that's the main thing, his team, because it is repetitive. And as soon as they wait a minute, it's going to be heat again. The heat got him before. The heat has gotten him multiple times.
Yeah.
And in some big tournaments, including some majors, and for warmer forecasts in Wimbledon. If I've said it right out the chute, I don't know. I've got a little concerning.
I've got a term that I use for him now. I came up with this after the French Open. You know what that term is? Unbettable. He's unbettable.
Yeah.
Because of this, not because of his talent. I can't, in good conscience, certainly not to win a tournament. I can't count on him to go, like, especially with the temperatures. I can't be sure that he's going to be able to play 6 matches. And then you're going to be laying significant odds no matter what because he's as good as he is. I can't bet him. I can't. I'm not going to bet against him. But I can't bet on him.
Charlie, have you known me about not be able to take my hand off the stove on some things?
Occasionally.
Well, this one's right off. Okay, because I laid money once Alcaraz he was out of the French and did like a Mercero thing where I got a baseball game today. And I'm going to parlay it with Sinner to win the French. He had not lost a set the clay courts. He won every Masters 1000 tournament leading in. I mean, he was, now, in hindsight, he might have been a little empty, a little light in the tank coming in, including a straight set victory of Alcaraz in Monte Carlo. I mean, he's in great form. He even showed he's better right now, better form. He would have been, had both of them played, Sinner would have been a slight favorite, and Alcaraz is out. So no, and he loses to the heat. So no, I'm not. And like I said, 3, maybe 4 times it's happened to where he's had to DQ because of the heat. No, I'm not. So what I did shift is to the quarters, and so basically make it a Final Four, make it a semis. Your 4 quarters and their odds and those. So I took Shelton, who's a very light quarter, and is the favorite to advance to the semis. He's still mature. Is he ready to break through? His serve translates to the grass. It's just him figuring out that he's got to grind a little bit more instead of going for low percentage shots early in the rally. The other thing I did was, how about this one? So basically you got your 32-player quarter. Okay, so let's just say NCAA tournament. We'll just say most of these will go to 64. So of your 16 teams, 2 of the top 3 in one quarter were playing each other today until Jack Draper withdrew. Imagine the 2 and 3 seed in the opening round of March Madness playing.
Yeah, I thought
that is bizarre.
I thought going to 32, seeding 32 was supposed to eliminate stuff like that.
Well, I can't figure out the seeding in tennis. Okay, they manipulate it a little bit, okay, because some players are playing more, but they obviously should be seeded differently. But no, there's a lot of subjectivity. There's a lot of committee influence on this. It's just not straight. Here's your ranking.
Wimbledon has done that for a long time. They have taken into account.
All the tennis tournaments have.
But Wimbledon's been doing it longer than the other ones, as I remember it, because they wanted to reward the stronger grass court players, which there's not that many other tournaments, and so they would I'm going back here a ways where they would seed a Martina Navratilova later in her career higher, or a Pete Sampras or whatever, as according to their grass court record. I don't know if that's in play here or not. I don't follow it as closely as I once did. But Sinner does advance in 5 sets, 6-3 in the 5th. We're here at Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill. Monday night is all-you-can-eat boiled shrimp starting at 5 o'clock. That's every Monday night.
Nice.
Wednesday nights, chicken wings are $1. 4 o'clock start on that. They got one of the best happy hours anywhere. Monday through Friday is 3 until 7. That means 250 beers, draft, domestic bottles, and draft domestic and bottles, $4 wells and $5 wine. Not too early to start thinking about your fantasy football drafts. In fact, we had our draw for our draft positions this weekend. So if you want to schedule your fantasy football draft, 243-5258. They've got multiple rooms here that they can set up for any size. You're going to be close enough to the action where you can see all the TVs, but you'll have a little private area for your draft. During your draft, it's dollar wings for your entire party and beer specials during your fantasy football draft. So get those scheduled now, coming up in the month of August. The Aspen Room also available for all of your parties, your get-togethers in the big Aspen Room that recently renovated. Get your special events here at Big Mike's. Now, they will be closed on the 4th of July so the staff can enjoy their holiday, but they're open throughout the rest of this week. So come on over and see us. Sundays are happy hour all day. They start at 11 a.m., and they also feature bottomless mimosas on Sundays here at Big Mike's on Aspen Square in Denham Springs.
Probably also closed 4th of July, but a week from this Monday at 6 o'clock. I think you'll be on vacation. I think you scheduled it so that you can come in here and be a ringer for the trivia night.
Oh, it's Love Island, right? Love Island trivia. I think that Max. We'll bring Max.
Max, Max, a Love Island trivia ringer.
I would go over on Love Island trivia night. But if you're a Love Island fan, that's a week from today. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. And that is brought to you by Supreme Rice, celebrating 90 years in business here in 2026. Supporting our Louisiana farmers, go to SupremeRice.com. Some really good news for LSU baseball this morning. Outfielder Nathaniel Davis, who's from Bishop Moore in Florida, withdrew his name from the MLB draft today. He's coming to LSU.
Where was he projected?
Second round.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he is reported by Joe Doyle, very respected follower of college baseball, and this is a big get. This is not somebody that if you had asked me when I woke up this morning that was going to come to school, I would have said more than likely not. But pulling your name out means that you're not going to – there's a big difference between – oh, well, it's going to take this number, and then you kind of waffle on that and actually saying, nope, I'm going to school. So a very nice get for Jay Johnson this morning when Nathaniel Davis headed into to Baton Rouge. About 40 minutes away from the start of soccer today, Brazil and Japan. We're in the knockout round now.
Yeah.
First knockout match yesterday. Canada advances over South Africa, and late, with the goal that was not into the extra, was in the time overage after 90 minutes, where they scored to push it through. Looked to all the world like they were headed for extra time. And
yeah, if you had the draw, we started the weekend on Friday with a rough, or Thursday night with a rough, missing the draw with the U.S. Game, and then you start the first one, and even to the most casual soccer observer like myself, Charlie, you could see the style of play was way more cautious in the knockout round.
Yes.
Yeah, way more cautious. And that's interesting to watch because, the U.S. is pretty aggressive, in their play, to the point where they give up a lot of goals for a team that, if they played their starters, it'd be 3-0. I mean, let's face it.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. For the first time ever. So I'm just being this. I'm sorry, I'm distracted with Naomi Osaka's outfit that she wore out there. Looked like I'm not quite sure what that was. The Japanese.
It's Wimbledon, you got to wear white.
It was layers of this like moo or something. I don't know.
Okay.
It was non-traditional. Let's just say that. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. But they Yeah, I mean it was way cautious, and even the Canadians were known as a team that were overly aggressive and stuff, and all the way to extra time. And of course, South Africa is a big dog. So what's a big dog going to do in a mainstream sport? They're going to slow it down.
Yeah,
Shorten the game, and they were well on their way. I mean, you get that thing, and now of course once they're done with the 90 minutes and extra time, they go to 2 15-minute sides because they want to switch sides because if there's a win factor, and then they go to PKs. And that's it. You get the PKs, and, man, it's a flip of the coin. So it looked like, I mean, they didn't score anything for 90 minutes. So it was extra time that they got the goals. So anyway, it's the World Cup is alive and well, man. The triple header today, huh?
Yeah, it is. I want to the odds are when you just said that they're a lot more cautious. The difference in odds to win in regulation and advance are very, very different.
Yes.
I mean, when I think of I try to think of it like an American football game. All right, there's no difference in whether you win in regulation or if you win in overtime. But in this, I mean, the odds we're talking about more than double. In some cases, to either win it in regulation.
Well, there's two things that's going on, okay? Because the draw is after the 90 minutes. It doesn't factor in those 2 15-minute periods.
Correct.
All right. Also, if you bet the draw every World Cup match, you're plus 22 units. Okay.
Wow.
Remember? I mean, so they one day where there were 4 games and all 4 drew.
Yeah.
Okay. So
right.
the odds are adjusting as well. So you're gonna pay. You're not getting the price that you did with the draw as well.
Max liked he told us on Saturday. He says this Algeria-Austria game. If they draw, they both advance. Kind of like that Chargers. Was it Raiders?
Yeah,
game
I think it was Australia. Was it Australia or Austria?
Austria.
Okay, and it went 0-0.
No, it went 3-3, but they still tied.
No, there was one where both of them advanced where they went 0-0.
Oh, they went 0. Was that Colombia and Portugal, maybe? Maybe.
I don't know, but it was there was no Brandon Staley input in this one. These were two willing participants.
Yeah, they were going at it, and they get the third goal to tie it very, very late.
And that's
late.
the thing with the pool play. There can be a little manipulation. Just the way it is. I mean,
do you when you're trying to handicap this thing, and just for instance, in this match with Brazil, to win it in regular time, they're minus 135. To win it in extra time, they're plus 950. And to win it in a shootout, they're plus 1,000. Okay, so if you like Brazil in this.
Brazil's such a big favorite, yeah. So
I'm just using that because that's the first game here today. But I mean,
yeah, that's probably the most lopsided matchup, in the first round of the knockout.
Of the three, they are, actually, Germany's a pretty big favorite.
Yeah, who's Germany playing?
Paraguay.
Really?
They are minus.
Well, Cape Verde. Who's playing them? They're like the 15 seed getting in.
Nobody. They're not playing today.
Okay, not today. But
no, that's. That's way later in the week.
That's another lopsided matchup.
Okay,
they're one of the biggest surprises.
So are you taking it?
Paraguay can be good. They've been a little disappointing, but
the cautiousness is that one of the reasons that it's this big of a discrepancy, to win it in.
No, Brazil basically. If you had you found the pick'em, the line might be minus 1.5, minus 2 goals.
Okay,
which is a ton.
Let me try Germany. Germany is minus 275 to win in regulation. They are minus 600 to advance. So you're talking about more than double the number just to advance.
A lot of the games go to PKs. I don't. I mean, we could look it up in the past, but just how many it does. It does seem.
You got to really pay attention. It's not just I like this team to win. Bet them.
I mean,
you got to. There's a lot.
One of the first World Cup. I thought it might have been England and Italy. I mean, 0 of France. It's 0-0, and they go to PKs. That's not that uncommon. So I think a lot of these. I would maybe I'm just going to say ballpark before I look it up. 25 to 33% go to PKs in a knockout round.
Okay,
that might be, and the deeper you get, where the tighter the matchups get. You got some. The Brazil game today is lopsided. Germany, like you said, whoever's playing Cape Verde, them. But as you get deeper and deeper, the percentages of matches that come down to PKs or increase.
They don't play till Friday. Argentina is a minus 575 to beat them in regulation time.
There you go. Okay. That's right. I should have known that because Messi is almost like even money to win the Golden Boot because they have a favorable draw. They've looked great. They have a favorable draw. He's already he didn't win it last time. I think Mbappe scored more goals 4 years ago. But I mean,
and Mbappe is the second choice.
They've got the combination of the strongest team and the best draw, and also. God, it's pretty good form for 39.
He's playing great, and they have gone. I think they've gone past Spain, I believe, to win it. France is still a favorite, but I think that you're now getting a shorter price on Argentina than you are on Spain. Look that up. I think that's right to win the whole thing. Argentina. France is plus 350. Argentina is now plus 400, and Spain is the co-third choice with England at plus 700. So,
okay, yeah.
That's how good Argentina has looked.
And it's opened up the draw. I mean, that is if you could pick, that's the opponent you want for this first game in the knockout round. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, for all of your real estate closings, 296-0060, full-service title company, servicing all of South Louisiana. Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Mariana Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith, buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. Three best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
Troy, I'll bring you on as we were trying to speculate on the amount, the percentage of games in the knockout round. And keep in mind, all we have historically is to go by the round of 16. But of the 16 games, what would you say? I couldn't find historically, but I did find the last one. How many do you think were decided by penalty kicks?
Oh, man. Probably more than not, man. 61%.
No, you're very high. You're very high. You're actually around double. Okay, a record-tying 5 of the 16, so 11 and 5 went to penalty kicks in the 2022 FIFA World Cup. So I was speculating about 25-30. The reason being was because we're looking at the odds and also how profitable the draws have been. You know, how different the odds are to win in regulation and to win to advance is what we're talking about.
Yeah, and you see it, especially today. Like, if you were to take the 3 favorites today on the money line to win in 90, it's looking at like plus 800, plus 750. But if it's the 3 favorites, Brazil, Germany, and Netherlands being a short favorite, just to advance, it's like plus 150. Because you get the extra time, you get the PKs if it goes to that. But that's also just something good to know for bettors. When you go on an app and you go to place a bet, you're probably going to be given the main markets are going to be in 90 minutes. So remember that is just a portion of the games potentially, and especially now. I think 20 of the 72 matches in the group stage went to a tie. But a lot of those were, odd matchups. A lot were the second go-around where teams are still finding their legs. I wonder with some tighter matchups, with especially today with like Netherlands, Morocco. That's a quarterfinal matchup, even an Elite Eight matchup. Honestly,
right.
There are a lot more games that could potentially play to a tie after 90. We've weeded out a lot of the minnows. I still think there could be some big score lines, but I'm very interested to see how the next few days plays out in compared to what we've seen with a lot of 4-2s, 3-2s, 5-0s. If we get that, or if it's back to what Americans think soccer is, which is 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-0.
Charlie and Troy, also, I'm watching during the coverage yesterday that the record for attendance ever was like a little over 3 million. After the group stage, the attendance of this World Cup, 4.5 million. 4.5 to 4.6.
How many more games? How many more matches we got here?
You got to eliminate 15. No, you got to eliminate 31 teams now, huh? Troy, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. 32 teams advance in the knockout, right?
Yeah.
So 31 games.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yes, they're going to be full. You know that. I mean, and the next one that's comes up is, when is it, Troy? Max told us maybe 12 years from now. It's still up, and FIFA enjoys money. And, well, with these type of attendance figures, with the favorable reviews thus far by the visitors, heavy favorite is the U.S. will be hosting the World Cup that next time. It's either, I want to say 12 years. I'm not positive.
Yeah, I believe so. 32 or 34, I believe. And I think, there's a lot of criticism of the World Cup beforehand, and I think in a lot of times, there's just, you got to talk about something before the matches. Once the matches kick off, it's been an amazing tournament from gameplay and just from how people have taken it in. The ticket prices have been insane. I wasn't able to go to a match because the prices never came down enough. But you look at some of these, like the Colombia match that was against Portugal and Miami. That was a Colombia home game. It was raucous. It was super loud. It's been hot some places, but you're going to get that damn near any place you go. The only thing I would like to see a little different the next go around is some different cities. I get it. There's been a lot of talk. Why don't we play them in our college football stadiums? The amenities of the stadiums aren't necessarily as nice as SoFi and MetLife. I get that. But, Columbus is a great soccer town. Columbus, Ohio. They play a lot of friendlies there. They should play a World Cup game at the Horseshoe. You get 100,000 people in there, have USA play somewhere.
Well,
you don't need to play at Kyle Field and yada, yada, but I would like to see them play at least one match at a massive college football stadium.
The college stadium's capacity were considerably larger.
Well, think about where they played the championship game in the last time it was here at the Rose Bowl. You had over 100,000 people in
the women too when they won.
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's so in 8 years in 34 it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. 38 it's up in the U.S. is the favorite there. How's the action been for the World Cup?
Good. It's been very good. It's been on par with 2022. But I think the big thing is there's just more matches during the day, and so like that tends to eat at the large handles. It's similar when you have if you have a standalone game on a Wednesday night for college football, like a MAC game, that's going to generate a pretty decent handle. If you put that game at Saturday at 1 p.m., it's going to generate no handle. So the additional games have we're getting average amounts of money on games that didn't exist last go around. But also because we're having midnight games, people love to bet late at night. It covers different swaths of the country. So it's been very good. The book is up on the public after the knockout round. But I believe the public took wins in like 27 of the 72 matches in the knockout rounds, and a couple of them mid to high six figures, which is really good to see. And the last week we had obviously people hitting on a 300-1 live Turkey money line, the tie in Algeria Austria live. I don't know if you guys stayed up for that, but that was bonkers. That was 150-1. So there's if you parlayed Messi, Mbappe, and Haaland to score 2 goals each on the same day, that was an 80-1. So there's been a lot of, long shot winners, and I think that keeps people coming back, and it just pairs well with the games. The games have been very, very exciting for the most part. Some stinkers, but mostly it's been very good.
3 games today. Anything that you like? Brazil, Japan at noon. Germany, Paraguay at 3:30, and Netherlands, Morocco at 8 Central Time.
Yeah, I like Brazil and Japan, both teams to score yet. Brazil, it's nervy. They've only made the past quarterfinals once. and that was in the last like 5 go-arounds, and that was in 2014, and they lost to Germany 7-1 in the semifinals. It's the most embarrassing match in the history of Brazilian soccer. Vini Jr. is one of the best players in the world. I think if Brazil does score, and I'm anticipating they do because I'm on both teams to score, he's probably going to be the one scored in each of his last 3 matches. So I like that there. I think Germany will beat Paraguay by 2 goals. But maybe you take an under 4.5. Maybe I don't have a ton of plays on that. And then the best match of the night is Netherlands Morocco. Don't have any bets there as of yet. That's just going to be a sensational matchup. But the one I'm most confident in is Brazil, Japan. Both teams score, yeah.
All right. The John Deere Classic concluded this morning with Hovland pulling it out in, speaking of the World Cup, it was pretty cool in Connecticut, the atmosphere. And it was a good, tasteful atmosphere, not what we've seen lately from the New York area. But it was fun. It was festive. You had more people watching the end of it. That's through a rain delay, too, Charlie, with about an hour and a half, rain delay, through. So I'm sure it's easier to get in and out as opposed to, Shinnecock last week as well. But still, Victor Hovland with some of his homeboys rowing the boat as the Norwegian wins it over Scotty Scheffler, and the Scotty Scheffler drought, if that's an appropriate term. It's been 6 months since he's won his last tournament.
How many top 5s, top 10s does he have?
A ton.
I will say this.
All of them, pretty much.
I will say a Hovland result after a rain delay, a full night, is great for the sports book, because anytime you give the betting public a longer time to bet on Scotty Scheffler, especially just against one person, he's just such a public golfer. We haven't seen the likes of the only other one that compares is Rory McIlroy. And there are some, when Scotty's hot, it's not even close in terms of how aggressive people back him. So the Hovland winning is a great result. And I think it's great that all the Norwegian fans who are still here supporting the Norway soccer team, especially up in the Northeast, made it out. Not surprised. Their celebrations and their cheering is a little bit friendlier than the American. I think that's no surprise there. We are an aggressive lot. But I think it's also good to just have. This summer is an international summer with Wimbledon going on, obviously off the back of the French Open with the World Cup. So to see kind of that and have the fans, if you're coming to the U.S. for a World Cup, you go support a guy in another sport. I think that's super cool, and that's part of the reason, man. Like, I love the World Cup. Only one teams win, but there are a lot of teams that leave winners. Like, no matter how bad Argentina beats Cape Verde, like they're going to leave being winners of this. Curacao didn't advance, but they're winners. It's kind of like the Olympics. There are people who don't win gold medals who become heroes, and that's one of the most fun part of this. It's more than just sports. It's you learn a lot about people around the world that we don't get a chance to. And also, plus it is sports, and the games have been pretty awesome.
One of the more misused terms is odds-on favorite. Some people confuse a favorite with an odds-on favorite. Odds-on favorite is you minus money versus the field. That's what Jannik Sinner is, and he was in sketchy territory. He had to go 5 sets, down 2-1 to win his opening match today in some warm conditions in Wimbledon. So some scary, concerning conditions there. Have you seen? Bet Rivers takes a lot of tennis action. Have you seen, because, like Charlie said, it's kind of an unbettable tournament, you see more action shift to the quarters and to individual matches? I know we're just getting started, but some of the pre-Wimbledon stuff, I would have to think that it shifted because the Center is such a massive favorite.
Yeah, and it's hard to give people the betting data on futures for tennis because it wouldn't look right because there's no action on Jannik Sinner. That doesn't think anyone thinks he's going to win. It means no one wants to bet him at those prices to win a 64 or 128 person tournament. They're outlandish, especially with no Carlos Alcaraz. So we're seeing the match betting is where it is, and we saw a lot of 5-figure bets on Sinner to win outright. I placed a live bet on Tekmanovic when he was a 10-1 underdog in the third set, and he won that set, and he was down to plus 150 and cashed out on that. So that was a nice win. Yeah, it's very hard to bet on Giannis Sinner just because the value's never going to be there because he is so far and away better than the field. But he's a condition. And I'm in America. I work with a lot of Brits, and they are complaining nonstop
Yes.
about how hot it is there. And that's what doomed him in France when it was very hot, and it's going to be just as hot in Wimbledon. So another reason to potentially, a small stakes get on the back of an underdog, maybe it's in set betting or game betting, because the chance for the longer it goes, his endurance and stamina is not world class in heat. But it should be a very interesting tournament, that's for sure.
We see it with the golf. The golf understands the weather, but a lot of the, whether it's the Kentucky Derby, Del Mar Opening Day, Charlie, the Masters, I mean, they scheduled around, the ideal weather conditions. I mean, playing Whistling Straits ain't playing in February; they're playing in like June. But the tennis has had a run of warm weather, from the Australian Open being close to 100 to Paris, record numbers for that first week in Paris and the French, and now it's warm in Wimbledon. I've been to Wimbledon before. It's in the 70s. It's usually ideal conditions. And in New York, I mean, it's kind of become a trend for, don't be totally shocked when you have some of the warmer than usual weather conditions in these at the majors in tennis.
Yeah, absolutely. It does make it tough because there's a lot of walkovers, and betting on that, you sometimes have guys who got great odds, they're physically fit, and then for whatever reason they have to pull out, and it can kill a lot of the futures momentum. So we're seeing less and less on futures just because of the how many variables there are, but the game betting has just gone way up this year. It's crazy.
Follow Troy on Twitter at Troy Macker. That's Machir, Troy. As I'm sure you have as well. Go take the kids out to the pool for the 4th of July. Our entire local lineup is off for this Friday for 3rd of July. 4th of July is a Friday, right, Charlie?
Yep.
Saturday. We're off. We're off as a station for the 3rd of July and on a respected holiday. Troy, enjoy your holiday weekend, buddy. Take care of the kiddos. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right. Don't forget, Charlie, that we're over here at Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill, and
Monday nights, all you can eat ball shrimp. It's a big favorite here. Starts at 5 o'clock. Dollar chicken wings on Wednesdays. That starts at 4 o'clock. And one of the best happy hours anywhere. We tell you about it all the time, from 3 until 7, Monday through Friday, and all day on Sunday. It's $2.50 beer, draft bottles, and domestic. Also, $4 wells and $5 wines here at Big Mike's on Aspen Square here in Denham Springs. And again, if you're getting ready for your fantasy football draft, starting to plan them, come out and schedule them at Big Mike's. So you can call 243-5258. Beer specials and dollar wings for your entire league while you draft, and they've got multiple private areas that you can segregate off and still enjoy the atmosphere, but get your drafts done here at Big Mike's. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at Big Mike's on Aspen Square, live at lunch. NBA free agency starts tomorrow. The amount of chatter around the league is picking up. There's some big names out there that could be moving on, including Jaylen Brown from Boston, and of course LeBron James is a possibility to Golden State now. But chatter on the weekend was that the Pels are taking calls on Trey Murphy, but they want 3 first-round picks for him. Now, look,
wow.
But they have been offered, according to reports, they've been offered 2 by more than one team. We understand why Trey Murphy is valuable, and my thing is this: if you want to trade Trey Murphy, that's fine. If you get 3 first-round draft choices for him, go. It's what are you? Again, I wonder what the direction is. Are you rebuilding? Or are you not rebuilding? It seems like they want to sort of rebuild, but not make major changes to the roster, but not get away from their core. Did a lot of research yesterday about names that might be available. For instance, Jalen Duren for Detroit. They don't want to extend him at the max. So he could be had, I'm talking about a 22-year-old center, in the possibility if you were to put a name on the table. He's only 22 years old. He struggled in the playoffs, but he had a terrific regular season. Is that something? And Detroit would love to have.
He's one of those guys that has to improve his game if it's going to translate to the postseason, because it was a real struggle.
It was rough in the postseason.
Yeah, and so and that was kind of Detroit's team. They seemed to emphasize the regular season, and they had some depth as well. But it's just for position. What was New York? New York's like 4th seed in the East.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of is. But he's a guy that got to be careful, because they're a little concerned if he can improve his game and to make those numbers translate a lot better from the regular season to the postseason.
He's been in the league for 4 years, and he's only 22 years old. So there's, his prime is still well out in front of him. I don't know how good he'll be. I do know this. He, at least what you saw in the regular season, fits what New Orleans needs. He is a big defensive presence in there and will help their rebounding deficiencies a lot. And you can put him in the lineup alongside Zion Williamson, and that would seem to be a nice fit. Now, Trey Murphy for Durham probably doesn't work straight up, but those would be the principles in a deal. It's just something to keep your eye on. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
And they need shooting. So this is kind of knee-jerk sort of consideration by Detroit.
It's one of the rumors that caught my attention, but there's a lot of people that would like to have Trey Murphy. My thing is, if you trade Trey Murphy for draft choices, you're going to be worse initially. If you just you're going to have to get a player back to match the salary, but you're going to be worse initially, and now the draft lottery odds are different. If you finish at the bottom, now you don't get more ping pong balls in the hopper. Hour number 2 coming straight ahead here at Big Mike's on Aspen Square in Denham Springs, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And return here at Big Mike's. Again, it's all you can eat ball shrimp on Monday night, starting at 5 o'clock. Wednesday, dollar chicken wings starting at 4. Happy hour daily, 3 to 7. And on Sundays all day long, which includes your bottomless mimosas. Get your fantasy football drafts scheduled right now, your special events over in the Aspen room, or your fantasy football drafts in one of the private rooms here at Big Mike's. During your drafts, dollar wings and beer specials for your entire league. Those will be coming up here before you know it. We are on Aspen Square here, Big Mike's in the sports bar area. It's about to start Brazil and Japan, the second match in the knockout round. Jimmy, the Pirates on Friday, Skeens threw against Cincinnati. Was not a good outing for him. He gave up 4 runs in 5 innings. The numbers for the season are not bad. He's got an ERA of 3.1. His whip's still below 1.
Right under it. Right.
And he's got 114 strikeouts in 93 innings. The record is 6-7, but I don't really care all that much about that. The number that is starting to get people talking is what is going on with Skeens' velocity. And his velocity, which was at 100 for most of his career, and is 98 to 99 on the average the last 2 seasons with the fastball, is now 96 to 97. This is the first start that he has made where the fastball averaged just under 97 miles an hour. So, look, he's still very good. He's just not at the superhuman level that he once was. The Pirates are not concerned. Their GM came out today and said, look, we're not getting any physical issues with him. He says, I think that this is fairly standard over time, where there's stretches where there's some small regression. I don't think that this is the reason. I think the GM is probably right here, but I'm going to ask a question just to see what you think. The pitchers that threw in the World Baseball Classic the most innings were Skeens, Logan Webb, and Nolan McLean. Okay, Webb has had a good year with San Francisco. His ERA is right about what Skeens is. It's 3.07. McLean through 7 2/3 innings in the World Baseball Classic. His numbers have been okay with the Mets. His ERA is just over 4. Not, nothing earth-shattering. And then Tariq Skubal, who only threw one game in the World Baseball Classic, only threw 3 innings, went on the injured list. Do you think there's any correlation that these high
3
leverage
innings?
Hang on,
and we're going to blame that on
no. I'm asking. I'm asking is if in a ramp up. No, this is not about usage. This is about high leverage innings at the very, very beginning of your ramp up into the training. I don't think that's reason. But I'm gonna ask the question: do you think there's any correlation? I'm not saying Schoolwell got hurt, not off of 3 innings. Of course not. But the other 3, the high usage is.
Well, they're all different. Okay, Skeens he's a notch or 2 below his usual form in major leagues. Okay, you say you're not concerned about the win-loss. The Pirates have lost his last 8 starts.
Do you think that's his fault in a lot of those cases?
He is a starting pitcher. He is, yes, part of it, a big part of it. He's not pitching where he wants. There's some where he's pitched very well, and there's some he gave up leads, there's some the bullpen gave up leads, a little bit of everything. Charlie, the Dodgers score a lot, right?
They do.
They're second highest scoring team in baseball. You've heard me talk about who's the highest.
The Nationals.
Guess who's third?
I don't know.
Who are we talking about?
The Pirates?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so no, Skeens is off. Okay, he's still, you take him at a 3 ERA and just a hair under a whip, 1, but he is not where, we're seeing him to where he pitched the whole season last year and had, was it right at a 2 ERA?
It was under
right
2.
under?
It was under 2.
Yeah, I mean,
the reason I said I'm not is concerned about the win-loss record. The 3 games before this Cincinnati. Hang on, the 3 games before this Cincinnati game, he went 6 innings in all 3 of those games and gave up 2 runs in all 3, and 2 runs apiece in those 3 games. That's a reasonable outing. I mean, that's an ERA of 3. Okay, so they didn't win, but I don't think he pitched badly in any of those 3 games.
Bad, Charlie,
that's 3 of those losses.
He's not like Superman like he was.
Correct.
Okay, I mean he was.
The velocity drop is something I'm just going to ask the question.
No,
where did it come from?
I've got a. I mean, it has to be. You have to consider if that's it. Okay, but I can't.
I don't think it is either.
He talked about. I don't know if I watched those World Baseball Classic games, and now I do like them. I think they're very, very cool for baseball and have a ton of juice for them. I really do. That the atmospheres are like no other. They really aren't. It's cool to see some of the greatest players play together in meaningful games, as opposed to the All-Star game where they're just going through the motions. They could give a crap who wins or not. And Skeens talked, hey, I know I can only go 3 quarters right now, this and that. And you made a good point at that time saying, well, he's got 100% focus, like the emotional leverage is something that they're engaged with. The reason I say they're all different is Skeens, partial year, All-Star, and top 3 maybe in Cy Young, or was he runner-up the partial year? Then last year's first full year, he wins it. Mm-hmm. All-Star game starter again, and ridiculous numbers. When we talk about today, when you have an under 2 ERA and not miss a start, I mean that's sick. Now that's a high bar, but McLean is unproven. McLean's he's a hot prospect. He's got good stuff, but we saw him get torched up pretty good. Italy torched him in that World Baseball Classic, and he, like a lot of players in the Mets right now, are having a rough year. I mean, their payroll and their win-loss record, the manager's been fired. I mean, they had 6 errors in one game. I mean, everybody's contributing, including McLean, but McLean is probably their only piece on the staff, on the rotation that's come back. But he is unproven, so we can't can't cite his struggles with the World Baseball Classic. The other thing, Webb is having a good year.
Yeah, because he already
So all three are different, and we can't throw three in. Throw that out? I mean, I can't.
Sure.
It's a Rick Scooble, and it wasn't even a deep in the tournament game. Remember, he pitched early and left before they, win, lose, or draw his start in those 3 innings. Now that's not exactly high leverage. So, but the velo, whatever it is, whatever the case is, it's not because he's become fat and happy. Lazy, malcontent. That's not his. That's not in his DNA.
And he's still missing plenty bats. 114 strikeouts in 93 innings is a big number.
He's not throwing that splinker as much this year too. Whatever
the splinker.
Splinker. Yeah. He's just not. Why is it? The feel is a little bit more taxing on his arm. I mean, there's a reason because that was kind of his pitch that nobody else really saw, huh?
Only he knows.
And it was highly effective.
It was. Only he knows for sure. At one time, he was toying around with so many pitches, I almost wondered if it was overkill. It's like, your four-seam fastball is just fine, and
Yes,
you've got enough there. Let me give you another example of the World Baseball Classic doesn't really have anything to do with it. Mason Miller was the closer for the American team, and he pitched in 4 out of the 7 games, and he pitched in some really tight quarters. Okay, he picked up a couple of saves in that series. He has had a phenomenal year for the Padres. His ERA is below 1, his WHIP is well below 1, and he's got 21 saves. He pitched, I would argue, you watched the whole Classic like I did. He pitched in some of the highest leverage innings that there were out there. So I don't think the World Baseball Classic has anything to do. I thought I would ask the question, but I don't think that it really does have a whole lot to do with it. But I'm curious as to why his velocity is down. And I don't know. The GM's explanation is as good as any.
I mean, it could be, Charlie. I mean, it could be a low part of it, but he started fine. He's they started in late March. Late March. First almost 2 months, his ERA is under 2.
Yeah.
And it started to climb up with this 8 games ago. Mm-hmm. And it's going from 198 to 262 to 300, and then slightly down 289, 283, 284, 285, and then bam, he's given up. Gave up 4 earned runs early too at Cincinnati on Friday night. He got a no decision. But they're favored in every one of these games, buddy.
And they've lost.
I mean, this is.
I didn't realize it was 8 in a row until you said that.
Well, I was going to quiz you before you brought it up, but I said because I was going to say who's the most profitable fade pitcher in Major League Baseball. It's Skeens.
Yeah, I would have picked a lot of guys before I would have
picked
him.
Yes.
Sure.
And how many teams would you have picked to finish before you guessed the Pirates are the 3rd highest scoring team in baseball?
24, probably. Yeah, we knew that offense was better.
Third.
I knew the bullpen was a problem, but I think.
And I know we got a lot of baseball to play,
and I think he'll be fine.
But he's a level off. If you're not acknowledging that, I mean, one of the early games there was the second game in Toronto. That's where they caught Livy in the stands, kind of expressing some expletives, but just going. So, but she was because it was so. Just so used to him just dominating, and he hasn't been dominant, man.
And we watched him pitch at not just an all-star Cy Young level. We watched him pitch at a historic level. Okay, we can't, in good conscience, expect him to pitch at a historic level every time he goes out. He is human.
Okay. How many pitchers have we seen show up on the scene? Hideo Nomo, Valenzuela. These guys, Jarro Ball for the Red Sox. I mean, El Duque. These guys just come on the scene and just would take them a few times for the opposing batters to kind of get comfortable with what their strengths are and how they were pitching them. And it's always that when you see them over and over time, the hitters get a little bit more of an advantage. That's got to be factored into it as well, that they're seeing him, okay, this will be the fourth game I go against him now, and stuff like that, because he was throwing such a expanded repertoire of pitches. But the velo is measurable.
Yeah.
The velo is measurable. And when you don't have quite that pop on your fastball, I mean, yeah, with all the other pitches like and like I said, he was so dominant with his fastball that we're like, are you overdoing it with sort of all these different pitches?
Yeah, I thought
we both shared that sort of concern. We're not saying it. I mean, not saying it's right or wrong or different, but also how much is it where guys are seeing 100-mile-per-hour fastballs left and right now?
It's a bigger deal when you see somebody go in there. It's a bigger deal when you go out there and say, well, he only throws 92. Well, 80% of the league used to throw 92. Okay, now you got more guys throwing over 95 or 96 than you got throwing under.
It is rare for a starting pitcher not to throw 92 or higher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Very rare now.
If you're averaging 92, 93, you're well below average.
All the bullpen guys throw mid-90s or better.
Yeah,
all of them.
And you got Mizorowski's throwing 105.
Yeah, I mean,
he hit 105 the other day. So 105.
Well, 104 every damn pitch. Fastball is just. I mean, so it's the hitters are seeing a little bit. It is. Well, I watch every one of his games. It's just they're just not overwhelmed at the plate like they were when he first came. The previous 2 years, and even earlier this year. So if he was damaged or if he was overextended, high-level spots in the WBC, wouldn't we have seen some of that early too? In the first almost 2 months were fine.
Except for opening day.
How many starts does he have? Charlie, he gave up one hard hit ball. One. That was a fluke. I'm sorry. That was a fluke. And still, how many starts does he have for the year? He had 7 before this 8-game slide started?
17.
He's got 17. So he had 9 starts.
Yeah.
9 starts, including a statistical mountain to overcome in that first one where he pitched 2/3 of an inning and gave up 5 earned runs or whatever it was.
It was 5.
He was under 2 before this start. So why now?
I think he's fine.
And
I really do.
Look, you got some Dodgers in Philadelphia here, but you also have Colorado. Cincinnati, Miami. Miami is about to win the most games in June. By the way, it's a rough month to play them, but it's not like based on weighted schedule or where they were playing. In some games, I could talk about, he pitched just fine, more than fine to win. How much is it that particular night? So the 8-game streak has a lot of different. It's not just him, of course, but you'd have never guessed that.
No,
the Pirates have lost 8 in a row with Skeen starting.
I was surprised when I saw the velocity numbers because it just never occurred to me that it would have dipped. I don't watch it quite that close.
I didn't know I heard some other people talking about it a little bit. He's just not overmatching these guys anymore.
No,
I do know that.
It's reached a level where they are starting to ask questions.
Your AC doesn't care if it's the hottest day of the year. It just quits. That's why Total Maintenance offers same-day service to get your home cool and comfortable fast. Give Total Maintenance a call at 480-0007. Plus, repairs are backed by our lifetime warranty, giving you confidence long after the repair is complete. When your AC breaks, don't sweat it. Call Total Maintenance, your total lifesaver, 480-0007. That's 480-0007 and tm-ac.com.
Live at Big Mike's, live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
With Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We're also brought to you by the Thibodeau Store, the Pierre Part Store, open in LaRose and Lockport right now. Grill specials from Royal King. Welcome to the kingdom. Shop them now at thethibodeaustore.com. Same-day pickup on everything at the website. When you go to thethibodeaustore.com, you can access all 4 of their locations. Specials on DeWalt, on Stanley tools right now. Also Milwaukee and Channel Lock tools. Get your 4th of July flags at the Thibodeau store. Outdoor cooking equipment, patio furniture, poolside furniture, cordless power tools, and a whole lot more. If you're looking to get the pool in shape, pool and spa chemicals, you can shop those also right now. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, Highway 70 in Pierre Part, and online it's thethibodeaustore.com. The former NBA players Malik Beasley and Ed Davis were indicted in a federal gambling case. This one's got a couple of layers to it, Jimmy. I wanted to run by you. By the way, Brendan Sorsby is not going to be able to play in Canada either. The CFL ruled against that. But when we talked
bet
about
on that too.
You can. When we talked about his case not being a point shaving case, that the point shaving cases at Alabama State was a more serious allegation, although not nearly as high profile. This deal with Malik Beasley, who reportedly lost millions of dollars and included some wagers that totaled more than $75,000, which, correct me if I'm wrong, a $75,000 bet at pretty much any sports book is going to get people's attention. That's not going to fly. That's enough money to get get a manager involved. The evidence that they allegedly have, he's innocent until proven guilty, but he has been indicted, was that he would manipulate his individual stats. Okay, nothing new here. We've been talking about unders for props, for props for quite a while. In fact, they've taken them off the board with college players in a number of states, including this one.
They never were available here.
Oh, they never were available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you couldn't bet them on it.
Most of one, and yes, a few, but most either have them or they never did. There's a couple that have taken them off.
Yeah.
But the Louisiana never did.
So the evidence that they have is that he intended to underperform on rebounding stats in the games in question. But then you get a little bit further, and he says, this is a text message that allegedly that they have. He says, I'm going to have more rebounds in this game. Go ahead and bet over on me. His total was 3.5 rebounds, and he got the last rebound to go at 4 with about a minute to go in the game. Yeah.
Oh, well.
So now you're are you bobbing and weaving? You're betting on yourself.
I've got a text message of that. I mean, it's a problem. Sorry.
Yeah, and you're talking about serious money. Obviously, he's never going to play again, but that one caught my attention. That sometimes we're betting over on the props, sometimes we're betting under on the props. If you're betting over on a prop, so yeah, I'm gonna get that tonight. You could take more shots to get your point total up.
Unders are easier to manipulate.
Yeah, and
but just like when we're going to cover tonight. Well, the other team's trying too.
Correct.
But no, if you're dogging it, you're tanking, you're shaving, then it's easier to not cover.
Yeah, it's more sinister, right? I'm not really trying for my team to win. I'm more interested in winning my bet. One of the big defenses of Pete Rose for people that defended him on a time was he never bet on his team to lose. Mm-hmm. The counter to that was when you don't bet on your team to win, you don't think that they are going to win. So if you
not only that, Charlie, but no, you have. Do you overemphasize in jeopardize and compromise your bullpen moving
pitching
forward?
Sure.
Because you're trying to win one game.
Yeah.
As a guy who bets Major League Baseball, sometimes it gets frustrating because that closer's thrown 2 games in a row. He ain't throwing again. I mean, is he going to throw them again? Is he going to? So there's that's the thing. You can. I think it's Toronto right now. They have like 8 of the top 10 relievers in appearances. There's no way for their bullpen to last.
And everybody that's ever bet a game has had a starter out there, and it's like, why are you leaving this guy out there? And it's like, look, man, our bullpen's exhausted. He's got to take one for the team. He's got to go out there and he's got to grind through 4 or 5 innings today because he just has to.
It's 100. Yes, and you can burn up your arms, and so that's the thing where you can't bet on your games. Period, and certainly in the NBA, where you don't know who's playing, and you're gonna. I mean, the guys' availability is a big thing. I mean, who plays? and in minutes as well. So no, you can't. You can't bet on your own team, period. I mean, it's not just – I understand he's not tanking, and that is the worst.
Yeah.
Like with Alabama State, no, you shaving point. No, you're trying to lose intentionally. You're trying to go under on your props intentionally. No, that is the absolute worst, but there are layers, too, that you cannot bet your team.
Millions of dollars went out in this deal. So these two players and 4 other co-defendants indicted today on charges of sports gambling. They will catch you.
Who was he playing with? The Nuggets?
When this all came down, he was playing for the Bucks, I think.
Bucks, okay.
Yeah. He played for he was playing for the Bucks.
That league doesn't start till the playoffs anyway. Just leave that crap alone. I mean, it's so bad. It's such a bad regular, and it's such a great. It's a great postseason product. It really is.
Yeah.
But it is a bad regular season product. It just, maybe more guys can be like Anthony Edwards, young stars. Like, man, we gotta show up and play. These people paying for these tickets.
I like that attitude.
I'm like 3 out the last 4 times I went to the Pelicans. Zion didn't play. I mean, I'm telling you, me and Max went to one. It was a G League game. Who is this guy? He went to Kentucky? Really? Because he didn't play at Kentucky.
Right.
No, it was so bad.
You're hurt. You're hurt. But we've been over the load management stuff.
You don't get the official lineup till an hour before tip.
Right.
I mean, it's too common. It really is. It's a turnoff. So.
We've never heard about in any of these basketball gambling issues. We've never heard about them in the playoffs.
No, very, very rare.
Yeah. Donahue, the referee, years ago might have been a playoff game.
Well,
but
the one thing they do is, and Golden State has done this before, the gentleman sweep. Kind of when they exhale and just kind of go through the motions in that game 4 or something, and they get they would. I remember their series against Memphis. They did it like twice, and then when they had to turn it on. They would kind of pick their spots.
They did that against the Pelicans. That the year that the Pelicans won that one playoff series against Portland, they beat them 4-1.
So that and hence the zigzag. That's part of it because teams have done it before, where they kind of, they just
gentleman's sweep. It's such a polite term.
It was. The Knicks didn't. They didn't do it. They put you away.
They were salty.
Whether it was in game, if they're up 20, they're trying to get up 30, or it was in series after the little bump in the road, speed bump when they were down 2-1 to the Hawks. It was just yes. They defeated the Spurs. So think about that. So the most they went was 5 games, right? After, so. The rest of the way, the Hawks were their toughest competition. Really?
Hawks got 2 games.
The Hawks.
Hawks got 2
Don't forget a friend, Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime. 343-1111 and OCBrown.com, your law firm for a lifetime. My law firm for a lifetime. Charlie's law firm for a lifetime. Both Charlie and I have never hesitated to recommend Dana's specialized team of attorneys to anyone that's seeking just trying to figure out if they need legal attention or not. You don't know if it's advantageous to get legal representation because we don't know. We're not trained attorneys, but that's why you take advantage of your initial consultation. You come in, schedule it, and it's free. It's a free swing, and we can educate you and kind of analyze your situation, evaluate what's the best approach for you. 343-1111 and OCBrown.com. Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown.
Live at Big Mike's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at Big Mike's, where on Mondays it is all-you-can-eat boiled shrimp starting at 5 o'clock. That's all the way from 5 o'clock until close every Monday here at Big Mike's. Upset alert. Japan 1-0, 1-0 on Brazil. We got a long way to go there in the 32nd minute, but
it's basically a pick 'em right now. minus 120 plus 100, in game to advance. Yeah.
This would be a massive upset, a very big upset. If this holds.
It's an upset, but Japan is a little bit more respected than some people. It's easy to say now. I should have made this comment before, but it was Brazil. They had a pass intercepted near midfield, and they made them pay. They're going to be aggressive, and they're going to be a little less tentative. So Troy's pick, as far as both teams to score, is in great shape. After, and then the guy just hits it in the corner of the
Their first match was against the Netherlands, and they
tied
it late, right? Which was also a surprise.
Yeah.
Not only is the Japanese soccer team very good, but they are the nicest fans. They clean up their areas after they leave. I mean, they're great.
I wish they'd come through Louisiana.
No kidding.
Pick the trash up. They got them elderly ladies picking. Thank God for them. God bless them. Picking up other people's trash on the side of the road and stuff like that.
Not only do they clean the locker room, their fans clean the stand. Jameis Winston was cleaning up with them when they were in Jersey.
My favorite is at the gas station there's a garbage can right there by every pump. And there's just stuff all around it on the ground. Like, can you just put it in?
It's right there.
I mean, it's so freaking lazy, so pitiful.
It's
pitiful.
Right there. All you got to do is pick it up.
Is that Jimmy Butler?
That is Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Buckets? It's in Houston.
It's in Houston. His name's on the trade block at Golden State.
When has it not been? He is.
Well,
he is.
You tell me why that Washington would do this. This is the hot rumor making its way around right now with the free agency starting tomorrow afternoon, is that LeBron James and Anthony Davis will both end up at Golden State. So Draymond Green opted out of his player option, presumably, and he's going to re-sign with them, but it's presumably so they can clear up enough money if LeBron decides he wants to go up there. And then they want to trade for Anthony Davis. To trade for Anthony Davis, they have to include Jimmy Butler in the deal to match the salaries. Now, you answer me why, and I love Jimmy Butler as a player, always have. But you tell me why Washington would trade for Jimmy Butler when they just got the number one pick in the draft. They just put all this money into
Trae Young.
Into Trae Young. I mean, I don't know if this is going to work, but they're trying to win now. They made the trade for Anthony Davis. Why would you bring in a 37-year-old Jimmy Butler who is 4 months removed from an ACL? That doesn't. If Washington does that, you got to say, what are you thinking? What are you trying to accomplish? Because I'm saying this with other teams.
Been bad for a long time. Being part of their,
gosh, have they been bad? But this is an opportunity for them.
When you get that much money to Trae Young, you can't win. Can't win.
This is an opportunity for them to be better than they have been in forever, right?
Because they got the number one pick in the draft, and
he's
a deep draft.
He's a potential superstar.
He's still a rookie.
I understand.
Still, 19, 20 years old.
I know you're not wild about Trae Young because he hogs the ball and he shoots too
player.
much and he doesn't play defense, but it doesn't he can score. And Anthony Davis, when he plays, he's still effective. He's just, he's a walking injury risk. But if you ever get that team on the floor, they'll be more interesting at least than Washington's been. I don't know why you would make that move for Jimmy Butler, but that's him. He's taking in some soccer.
Anthony Davis. Now listen, everybody wanted when the Pelicans won the lottery. He was. I mean, and look, he can be a great player, no doubt. But I mean, one championship the bubble year. Was there ever a bubble? That was a perfect scenario for him with limited games during the season, limited travel, and just the whole thing. Let's just get through this bubble and get out. No, I don't know if you can. What can you realistically expect from him? What could you realistically expect to get from Anthony Davis? How old is he now?
32.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's always hurt, man.
He's always
hurt. Period.
When he plays, Again, he's just fine. But I mean, I couldn't put a whole lot of stuff. That's why the trade for him from Dallas never made any sense really to anybody. He played 20 games last year. He played 51 the year before that. You got to go back 3 years to the last time he played a full season. In 24, he played a full season. Now he's still a 25-12 guy, so he's still going to be able to put up numbers if he gets out there.
So Brian having a special Friday night special where he announces where he's taking his talents.
Nobody seems to know exactly what he's going to do.
He's even money to go to Golden State.
Yeah, I think
I think somebody knows where he's going.
It's probably one of those. The Draymond Green thing's a big tell. The opt-in I think was $27 million. He probably would not have done that without some First of all, he's going to get his money back with whatever deal he ends up taking, but that had to be to manipulate the salary. And think about it, they're all going to go out. You're very close to the end for LeBron, for Steve Kerr, who doesn't, has not given any indication that he wants to coach for a long time. And Draymond Green and Steph Curry, I'd almost say it's either one of their last years, but they're way closer to the end than the beginning. And that group with James and Curry and Kerr won an Olympic medal. They think that they can do it again.
Kalshi markets, LeBron to Golden State next year, 50%. Staying with the Lakers next year, 40%. Going to Cavaliers, 10%. It's even money. Go to Golden State.
If he did go to Golden State, do you think
last little hurrah for he and Steph together?
Yeah. Could they win a title with that team?
No.
It would be hard to, even if they pulled Anthony Davis.
You seen them teams in the West?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, you gonna take them versus Oklahoma City? No way.
Or San Antonio.
San Antonio, Denver. Minnesota.
It's just so stacked.
It's stacked.
And how many games would you realistically get out of the core? I mean,
and they won't. They're not likely to have a better record than Houston of a regular season. Dallas is a little bit away, but maybe there's other teams. Portland is building a little bit. There's some stiff competition in the West. Stiff. There'll be like a 6-7 seed. Kind of that would be the chalk. I think a 6 or 7 seed. And I'm just the amount of games they're playing. They're fairly healthy. That's all they can be. They can't. They're not playing at this stage of their career as much as those other teams. No way. The depth that OKC has. And the Spurs.
They would design
with Wemby with the 29, 30 minutes, it was just fine.
They would design it not to overextend themselves. They would probably be shooting for something like the 5 or the 6 seed just to stay out of the play-in probably.
Now a Wemby injury changes things. A Joker injury changes things. I tell you what, that OKC team is kind of – it's the third straight year they just finished where they were number 1 seed out the West. Their depth is – even with SGA, they're a star. Even when he's out, they are just fine. They are built for the regular season.
They're having to do a little bit of roster adjustments right now because they're having to extend some of the guys, including Holmgren. And so they made a couple of minor trades for their some of the rotation guys. They moved Isaiah Joe yesterday. That's just to get the books right. But they're bringing in another lottery pick. That a lottery pick that doesn't have to play anytime. Just hey, we'll kind of ease you in here.
You're going to play 25 minutes or so against the Spurs when they play them.
That, to me, was the best pick outside of the top 3, which were, all of those guys are superstar potential. To bring in a 7'3", what is Mara, 265 pounds?
But his last year at UCLA to last year at Michigan, he was much more physical, so he will continue to improve. Look, Wemby's put on 20 pounds since he's come into the league.
Sure.
Okay? Sure. And he's going to put on some more because look, if he doesn't feel like he needs to get in the weight room a little bit more after the treatment he had, I mean, you can get frustrated all you want. That's not stopping.
He's got enough frame to put the weight on comfortably. Wouldn't you say?
Well, he is built to handle some more, but everybody with age, with time, is only going to add. Look at some of the, the college, the veteran players. I mean, he's going to put on some weight, but it has to be a conscious effort to put on some strength as well, and
Yeah.
not just, and he has a little bit. He's just so damn big. I mean, so long, but he's just scratching the surface, man. But he went through it. It's the first playoff game he's ever played. It's a little bit more physical in the postseason than the regular season. And you saw him. He didn't like it. So it kind of caught him. He didn't anticipate getting roughed up. That's the only way they're going to play you. If you think that was just a little stretch, you're out your mind.
What other choice do they have? Who else has got somebody like him?
They to bang on you. That's it.
They're going to be
bang on
shorter
you
than
enough to where you stay out on the perimeter. And if you beat us from the perimeter, you beat us. That's fine. But if you're shying away from coming down to the paint, where you're just almost unstoppable, whether it's the alley-oop or your own moves, your own finishes, that's a win. That's a win for the opposing team. So it's something to. He's got to. You've seen the whole Jordan where he got in the way. He wasn't the biggest guy, but he put on a lot of muscle.
Oh, he did after the Pistons beat him up for a couple of years. Yeah, he absolutely did.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank. At United Community Bank, your business is our business. We support the hardworking folks behind local business, from initial startup loans to ongoing planning and assessments. United Community Bank is here for you. Our great team of bankers: Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Prentice Wilkes, David Henry, David Campbell. United Community Bank. Remember, FDIC equal housing lender.
Live at Big Mike's. Live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And return here at Big Mike's again Monday night. All you can eat ball shrimp. Starting at 5 o'clock Wednesday, dollar chicken wings. On Sundays, it's happy hour all day, starting at 11 a.m., including bottomless mimosas and the happy hour drink prices, which are $2.50 draft and domestic bottled beer, $4 wells, and $5 wines. And if you put your fantasy football draft together here at Big Mike's, you get dollar wings and beer specials all throughout the draft for your league. Call 243-5258, 243-5258. Schedule your fantasy football draft. They've got multiple places here, multiple rooms here that they can put you. You'll have a little bit of privacy, but also the great drink specials and food specials all the way through. You want to get into the Aspen Room for your parties, your get-togethers. It is available for reservations as well. Same number, 243-5258. Aaron Nola going today for the Phils. Been a little bit better.
Pitching a little bit better.
A little bit better of late. 5 innings, two runs in each of his last 2. It's been a rough year for Nola overall.
He got, when he left the game, his bullpen didn't help him out, allowed that, the runner that he was credited, he was responsible for.
Yeah.
Gave up a hit to let him in. So he actually pitched a little bit better than the final box score pick last time. Who'd they play against in that game? Who was it again?
The last game, Washington.
Yeah. Because obviously, I paid attention to Washington bats.
You become a Nationals fan. You and Tony Cohenhart.
It's when they are number 1 in scoring, which is not expected, and 29th in team ERA. It's kind of an over team.
Yeah.
But the odds, the window of opportunity is kind of sailed by. They're still going over sometimes. They still hit the ball, but they also, you get dealing with some big numbers now. 9.5s and 10s a lot, and that's a lot for them.
You telling me Vegas adjusted?
Oh, they usually do.
Vegas, yeah. They adjusted.
But we had a good run with it.
Yeah, you gotta strike while iron's hot. You what we're looking at live with the soccer match, which is going to halftime. It's still pick 'em.
Yeah.
Halftime, Japan won, Brazil nothing.
And look, Japan is. You don't have to be a soccer expert to know that when they've got the ball on Japan's side, Japan zone, and they've got 10 of the 11 in the box area, man, they are. There's a lot of congestion near the goal.
This is the soccer equivalent of a prevent defense.
And a very disciplined prevention. They ain't getting behind. You're not with your safeties and prevent deeper than the deepest.
Yeah.
You cannot
Nobody's
let them
getting behind me.
nobody getting over the top. And there's just into, and this is the cool thing about whether it's World Baseball Classic or soccer. The Japanese, are they disciplined? Usually,
you would think, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be a frustrating for the loosey-goosey, high excitement, high scoring team like Brazil. This could be a frustrating second half. They will control the ball most of it, but they're just not going to. It's not likely for them to catch Japan uncompromised, undisciplined, out of position. So.
You never want to fall behind to anybody, obviously, but this is one of the teams that you really don't want to, just based on their style of play. Germany and Paraguay at 3:30, and Netherlands and Morocco is the late game tonight. We're in the knockout round. The USA plays on Wednesday against Bosnia. That is a 7 o'clock game from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. USA minus 265 to advance in regulation. Significant favorite, and the bracket that gets them to the round of 16 is set up, Jimmy. If they beat Bosnia, probably Belgium. I think, or actually Senegal is maybe a small favorite in that game. Maybe a pick 'em. I shouldn't say, but the United States would be favored in that second game.
Japan is averaging giving up 1 goal per game. So three matches, three goals total against Netherlands, Sweden, and Tunisia.
Brazil was a significant favorite in this game. Now, we got a half to go. But
yeah, it's 280, 260, something like that.
Yeah, so that match is at halftime. You know what I forgot to do. Jordan had a whole report from the Manning Passing Academy.
Oh, he did. Oh, poor. I feel so sorry for him being subject to having to go down there. Who wants to go there in their right mind? He enjoyed it.
He enjoyed. Yeah,
what's wrong with him?
He had a good time. We had a pre.
George's a Louisiana guy. He likes Louisiana.
Mannings
don't like Louisiana.
He was watching the other quarterbacks. He said they booed Arch Manning.
I heard.
Yeah,
I heard.
What was that about?
Well, or most of the fans. Who's the team they pull for?
LSU.
I would think.
Yeah, most of the attending fans. Yeah, down there. I would say
some of those fools. I thought they had a chance to get him. Well, they did. Some LSU officials.
I heard the same. I heard the same thing. I heard the same thing you did.
You've wised it up, huh?
I never thought they were going to get him. No.
You know they're never getting a Manning.
Right. No, I never had any delusions of grandeur about that.
Poor Jordan. I'm sorry, Jordan. You had to go down there.
Had a good time. Thanks to Big Mike's for being our host today. Tomorrow we'll be at Mike Anderson's Seafood. Andy Isco will be with us. We'll do first class, second class, no class. That is tomorrow. For Jimmy and for Jordan back in the studio, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. And stay tuned for the Hunt Palmer Show. Taylor Sharp is guest hosting today on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.